guys, so welcome to the webinar, guys. This is a webinar about Candlestick. What are the top 3 candlestick patterns that professional traders use for to trade for a living? Of course, this is not the go-to all for how to do successful trading. However, it is a glimpse on one of the pieces, on one of the angles used to trade. Okay, what are all of your experiences been with candlesticks? Can you let me know? How did you ever get exposed? Did you get exposed to candlesticks recently, long time ago? And what is your experience in terms of trading it? Did you make profits? Did you make losses? Are they reliable, or is it skewed for yourself? It's like every time I deal with it, I'm getting mixed results. Like, what would you say? So some of you guys are saying bad experience, hit and miss, long time ago, not so reliable, just one piece of the puzzle. Some of you guys are saying context is key. Okay, never used. Okay, hit and miss. Okay. So there's a lot of different variations, a lot of different ways everyone has exposure to this, right? All right, so let's get started. I wanna talk about a few things. Did all of you guys watch those 2 supplementary videos that I have given you before coming to this webinar? Yeah, you guys have watched it. Okay, fantastic. So you have the gist of the basics of candlestick patterns. So let's go into a couple. Some of my personal favorite ones. Henning talked about it as well. And before we get into that, I just want to say one thing for those of you guys who are watching the recording. We have just hit 1,000 people into the room, which is probably why some of you guys who are trying to attend live, you're not able to get into the room, because once we hit 1,000, the room maxes out. So I apologize for that if you are not able to attend live, but hopefully you're watching this recording with all of us here. Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. So I'm going to turn on my screen sharing, and you let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, maybe I'll share this screen and I'll move this out. Okay. All right. So let me put this here, and I'll bring my charts in. Okay, you guys can see my charts now. Let me open up the chat so I can see it. I don't see the chat yet. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Yep. Looks like you guys are all saying yes to that. You guys can see my charts. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Cool. All right. Now let's get started. I'm going to open up one of these things. I'm going to full screen it, and I'm going to take you up to an hourly. I'm going to remove all these MAs on there, so I'll just keep it nice and large like this. Okay. G, you're saying hi, Navin. I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a big fan of yours. So welcome to the webinar. Okay. All right. So let's get started here. So let's talk about some of the common candlestick patterns that are thrown at us. Right. How many of you guys know of this one, where it goes like this, and then it has one big tail on top? Okay. How many of you guys are exposed to that one? Okay. Hammer, inverted hammer, pin bar. Okay, comes with multiple names, right? Okay, obviously, how does a hammer look in real life? A hammer looks like this, right? Like, who holds a hammer this way? No one holds a hammer like that, right? So generally, this is the hammer, and this one on top is called the inverted hammer. Okay, this is also referred to as a pin bar. Some people just like to call it a pin bar. So it has multiple different names. We used to call it an exhaustion candle back in the day, and we still call it an exhaustion candle. Okay, so multiple things that go around with it. Now, what does this mean though? When you see this happen, what does it mean? Okay, it's a rejection of price. Good. I see some of you guys saying that. Price rejection, selling pressure, reversal. Okay. So it seems like we're on the same lines, everyone, saying it's a rejection and a reversal. So let's now look at this very carefully, okay? When you're first exposed to candlesticks and that particular pattern that I showed you, would you not immediately your eyeballs go to your chart and be like, oh my goodness, look at that. That looks fantastic. Imagine if I bought it here and I sold it up there, how much money I would have made. Guilty or yes or no? I've been through that long time ago, but people still do that. People still do that, right? It's sort of like your eyeballs get attracted to that and be like, oh man, this candlestick pattern, this particular pattern is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Take a look at this area here. It's there as well, telling you that it's getting rejected from the top. That means the price should go down. Oh my goodness, look how it goes down. If I sold from there and I closed over here, I would have made so much money. In fact, I would become the Ferrari dealer where I would have 500 Ferraris to display, right? This is how the average person starts to think when they're exposed to candlesticks the first time. However, we don't get accustomed to seeing stuff like this where they show up in the middle somewhere. Okay, because they happen quite a bit too, or they show up like this, like that one. Because during the time when you're learning something, your eyes don't spot that. Your eyes spot things where the markets will turn, where it looks so beautiful. It's like, oh, wow, that's a beautiful pattern to see, right? You guys agree? So initially, everyone is exposed to candlesticks in that way, where it's like, I learned a few candlesticks, and I was told candlesticks are the way to go. And because of these patterns that I've learned a collective of 20 different vocabulary words. And now I know how to trade, okay? And because it is so unique, no one else can do this, I'm gonna make more money than anyone else in the world. Unusual, isn't it? Unusual, isn't it? Always have to think of it in that language. If what you do is truly unique, then of course you will make more money. But if what you do is so common that everyone can do it, then do not get stuck in the hype of this is how you're going to make a lot of money, more than even a job can pay. Agreed? Yes or no? Okay. So at least I know all of you guys have your heads on straight and you're like, okay, there is a certain limit where I'm willing to test for certain things, but I'm no fool, right? And I know a lot of you guys are here with a level head and you guys know when to think with common sense, right? So now, however, because we're cynical, right? Because we're cynical and we're like, we don't want to be taken for a ride, it doesn't mean we also turn off the idea of it's all wrong, right? Information is not always all bad, okay? It's just, what does it actually mean? Why is there so much fuss about it? Okay, right? So let's get into that. Would you guys agree? Like, not all information is bad. In fact, you can sit into any webinar on YouTube. You will always find some kind of a golden nugget in there that can help you grow. You might not agree with it, but you can find something in there that you can use to be better, right? So let's take a look at this on these charts and go deeper into it. So, okay, and then later I'll move back to some of my trades that I did today, and we'll see what kind of candlestick patterns show up for those and how were we been able to turn a profit from those. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example, yeah? Let's say the markets are moving upwards. They go up, 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 up. Then they start going sideways, 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 sideways. In this sideways motion, a candle shows up with a wick on top. Okay, a candle shows up with a wick on top. What's going through your mind? Okay, Frank, you're saying means nothing. Some people saying sell. Robert, you're saying stop hunt. Anthony, you're saying reversal. Robert saying sell. Bibek saying faker. Okay, so can we all come to a conclusion for one thing? That we don't have a common answer, right? So I want you guys to understand one thing. Notice how I'm reading out all of your comments here, right? And not any of you guys have come to the same conclusion. A majority of you guys haven't said one same thing, right? There's a mixture of answers, but the candlestick design that you studied, you all know what that is. But when I say, if it shows up, what would you do? Everyone has a different opinion about it. Yes or no? You guys agree with that? So how can you use the way you're learning this thing to turn a profit from it if how you've studied it is not the same way everyone looks at it? So how can you get a sustained move off of it? Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say is, when a candlestick pattern shows up in an area that has no purpose of being there, it means nothing. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain what I'm trying to say here. Now I'm going to change the scenario a bit. Okay, the markets are now moving upwards. They pull back. They're moving upwards, and right up here, you get a candle with a big wick on top. What does this mean for you? Okay, Rolf, you're saying sell. Sell, stand by, sell, sell, rejection, sell, sell. Interesting. I just changed where I put this candlestick, and now majority of you guys are saying the same thing. See how the opinion changes behind that same candlestick pattern that everyone has learned, but the way we respond to where it is a very unique thing, okay? This is something important you guys should understand, that it's a very unique thing on where it shows up. So far, so good? Everyone with me? Okay. Now, I'm going to take it one step further. How many of you guys understand momentum? How many of you guys here are actually part of the Mastering Price Action program with me on urbanforex.com? Yeah, so, okay, so a lot of you guys are in the Mastering Price Action program, right? Some of you might not be, but majority of you guys, from the looks of it, are saying you guys are. Okay, I'm gonna throw in a little bit of momentum in here, okay? So the markets are going up, okay? And those of you guys who don't have the Mastering Price Action course, don't worry about it. I'm gonna explain to you what I'm trying to say. It will make sense to you. It will make sense to you. So the markets are moving up. They're going up. It goes up this high, 100 pips. Then the market takes a little breather, comes down 30 pips. Okay? And then it goes up 300 pips. And then an exhaustion candle or a pin bar or an inverted hammer shows up here. Can I sell? Now notice how all of your answers, I'm reading it, I just see no's across the board. Notice how you changed the way you've used the word. From earlier you were saying sell it. Now when I threw in a little bit more data behind it and I said, look at the momentum of this, you guys are all saying no, do not sell this now. Same candlestick pattern, similar location at the top of a trend, but now because you have a little bit more data, you're saying, yeah, I know it's the same candlestick pattern. I know it's what we all studied, but now it means something different. You guys agree? So can we all come to a conclusion by just studying a candlestick pattern won't get you anywhere? Yes? At least we all agree on that part, right? Okay, just studying a pattern means nothing. I want to expand on that. Just studying any pattern in the world, you know, a bat pattern, a cat pattern, a raccoon pattern, a dinosaur pattern, studying any pattern on its own means nothing. A Fibonacci pattern, a higher high, higher low pattern, all of these patterns on its own mean nothing. You need data around it to support what are we actually looking at. A pattern. There you go. Okay. So far, so good. So I like how some of you guys are saying need context. Very good. So we need context, right? Good. Now, let me switch the scenario around a little bit more. Okay, let me switch the scenario around a little bit more. Okay, I'm glad you guys are coming to a realization of why is something good or why is something bad when it's exactly the same education everyone has got, but now you think differently. This is the key. You need to identify how the world is looking at what you are seeing to get an edge over the next person. Did you understand what I just said? Okay. You need to get an edge over the next person, but to do that, you need to understand when people look at a certain thing in a certain way during certain times. So when I drew that sideways range, we had multiple different answers. But when I put the exhaustion candle on top of the trend, suddenly everyone's answer became the same. But when I included some momentum in there, suddenly everyone's answer changed again, but it was the same. If I know how everyone thinks, can I not have an added edge above everyone? Right? That's how trading works. You need to be one step ahead. One step ahead, which means you need to think like a chess player. If I do this, then the next person does this, I can then do this. That's how you think, okay? That's how you have to think. You have to think in multiple moves like that, okay? So, but having that said, we're gonna discuss candlesticks. We're not talking about chess today. We're just talking about candlesticks. Okay, so let's go into this a little bit deeper, yeah? Okay. So now the markets are going up, bam, just like before, 100 pips. Then it takes a little breather for 30 pips, pulls back, right? Then it goes up again, okay? And he makes only 50 pips. Then he takes a breather, okay, for 25 pips. Then he goes up again for 25 pips. And now an exhaustion candle shows up. What would you do? Okay, now I don't have any buys in the chat right now. All I see is sells, sells, sells. Okay, across the chat. It's all sells all over the place. Okay, now there's multiple ways to look at this. Some people look at trends, right? How many of you guys understand how a trend works? Do you guys know the general pattern of a trend, right? What's a trend? A higher high, a higher low. Okay, so if we're looking at this chart, if this Aussie USD 60-minute chart, and you look at it, and then you bring in your son or your daughter or a toddler to look at the screen and say, okay, help daddy or mommy understand which way is the market going, he or she will say up, right? He or she will say, oh, it's going up. Look at all those nice Christmas colors going up. But what exactly is making them say up? It is this thing, the idea of the low points getting higher and higher, and the high points are getting higher and higher, okay? So the concept of higher high, higher low sequences makes the idea of a person to say it is an upflow, okay? Having that said, how did this movement start, the one I was trying to put the candlestick on? It started with a movement, strong move up, very, very aggressively. Michael, yes, very fast, very strong. Then it moved, making a higher high sequence, higher low sequence. Great. And then for the very first time, we were unable to make a higher high, and that exhaustion candle shows up. So not only do we know the momentum, each move, subsequent move up is slowing down, but we also see our trend is now at risk. It is coming into trouble. Now, if I sell this, is this going to crash all the way down till here and then make a hole on my floor and go down to the first floor? No, obviously not, right? Again, where it shows up makes a difference. let's take your knowledge of this one candlestick pattern, okay? I know we're going to talk about 3, but I want to take one candlestick pattern and open it up so much that you can look at it with all different angles and be like, I know what the world's looking at this as, and I know what's going to happen, okay? So let's take this even further now. Okay, let me delete all these lines. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. A little bit more. Okay, done. Okay. Tarinda, Navin, can you see my messages? Because I can't see anyone. Yeah, all of your messages for any of you guys who are typing, I can see them, and the team can see them, but you won't be able to see each other's messages to avoid any confusion. So you guys can, calmly just talk with me, and we can have a conversation with each other. But don't worry, I can read all of your messages. Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. Arjun is saying it's like a blind date. That's exactly what it is. It's like, except I'm dating 1,000 other people and you guys don't know about it. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So now I'm going to change the scenario a little bit more. Okay, so the markets were going up, pulls back a little bit, goes up, pulls back a little bit, goes up, pulls back a little bit, goes up, no higher high, drops down, pulls back a little bit, and now you see an exhaustion candle. Okay, now I want to ask a question. Now, I haven't even asked the question and the responses are already coming in, but I want to ask a question. Calm down, slow down. Okay, I want to ask a question. How do you see what is happening here now? Okay, what do you see just happen here? You saw the momentum fade, okay? You're not just looking for a candlestick pattern saying, where the hell is my candlestick pattern? Because once I see the pattern, I need to sell it. And once I sell it, I need to quickly go to the bank. So I need to go to the Ferrari dealership. No, 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 no. Okay, you want to take it easy. You want to understand the whole story. So it was an uptrend dying out. It was slowing down every step of the way. And that uptrend with the higher high, higher low sequence suddenly said, no more higher highs. No more higher highs. In fact, he made what? What happened to my lowest point here? What happened to that? It got lower. It got lower. I now have my first lower high, brand new, brand new. Okay? Okay, I'm walking you through this 3-stage process of when do you touch a candlestick pattern? When do you like a candlestick pattern? When do you hate a candlestick pattern? But the same pattern. I'm walking you through very, very slowly, okay? So please don't take this simplistically because it's not simple because many people make this mistake all the time, okay? All right, so far so good. Everyone with me? We've made a first lower low and then a first lower high. Okay? Now, I want to ask you guys one thing here. Okay, would you sell that candlestick pattern? Okay? Yes. Okay, a lot of you guys are saying yes. I see 1 or 2 no's. I see one guy said wait. But I'm seeing yeses from the rest. Okay, I see 100% yes also. Okay, good, good. Now we're getting somewhere. Let me open it up even deeper. Let me open it up even deeper. Okay, okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me get rid of all of this and I want to take it even further. Okay, ready for this? Now, let me ask you something. Markets are going up. Bam, they start rising. Bam, they start rising. Bam, they start rising. Okay, I want you to think of anything in the world that you know about, anything that you can actually purchase, okay? What happens to, okay, Ben is saying pineapples. Let's say this uptrend is for pineapples, okay? We're gonna, I've never used pineapples as an example, but here we go, pineapples. Okay, so we are buying pineapples, right? This chart represents pineapples are hot these days. Hashtag pineapples, okay? That's the new trend. Now everyone is behind these pineapples. They're like, no matter what happens, I gotta get that pineapple. Okay, I gotta get that pineapple. So what people are trying to do is to say, if I can get a good price on the pineapple, hopefully the pineapple rises in price again into the future that I can sell it for a profit. So far, so good? Okay. I want you guys to put yourself in the shoes of this design. So the markets are going down, 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 sideways, 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 sideways. Okay. Are you a seller in this stage? Just put yourself in the shoes of any average person. Okay. Some people are saying, no, I'm not interested in selling. It's sideways market and everything like that. Okay, the market goes up a little bit and then it goes down more. Are you a seller? Okay, now some yeses are coming in. Okay, then the market goes up a little bit. Are you a seller? Okay, I see some no's, I see some yeses. Notice how mixed results, right? Okay. Then the market goes down a little bit. Are you a seller? Okay, I see some no's. Then the market jumps up just slightly. Are you a buyer? Okay, mixed results. Then the market goes down and then jumps up very aggressively. Are you a buyer? Then the market pulls down a little bit and jumps up aggressively. Are you a buyer? Okay, now the entire chat has turned into a yes. Okay, compared to earlier, this whole era, people were, the focus point was, is it still a sell or not? I don't get it. Is this still a sell or not? But only after it makes a visual appeal to you saying, look how high it's gone. That's when people say, of course it's a buy. You know, my grandma can see it, my mom can see it, my kids can see it, my dog can see it, everyone can see it. Of course it's a buy. So I want you to remember one thing, at least from this webinar, is when someone notices a direction, it's too late. It's too late. So that means when a market is doing this, and then it's going up like this and this and this, people do not buy that. People buy this less. More people buy this. Most people buy that. Agreed? Okay, you don't want me to repeat the chart of Bitcoin for everybody. Okay, Bitcoin is gone from the news. It is unspoken of anymore, except Bitcoin.com and stuff like that. But it is not even spoken about anymore because it's no longer cool, right? So if people chase it once it becomes popular, let me ask you one question now. If this starts to pull back slightly and goes down that deep, and then it goes up, and then it goes down a little bit more, and then you get a hammer. Do you want to buy? Now have mixed results again. Okay. There are some yeses, there are some no's. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm using that same pattern. I'm just putting it in different places of the market, and all of your answers change. All of your answers change because you're learning how to read the market instead of reading the pattern. If you read the pattern, you will fail. If you learn the market structure, you read the market, and then you use the pattern, you will win. And then you can say, I know how to trade that pattern. There's a difference. It's not do you understand the pattern, can you trade the pattern? They're two different things. Okay? So far, so good? Everyone with me so far? Okay, now I'm gonna take this entire scenario and I'm gonna redraw it one more time for you to get a quick aha moment, yeah? Very, very quickly. Here we go, here we go. Delete, 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 delete. Okay, we're gonna do this in under 1 minute. So markets are going up, 100 pips, pulls back 30 pips, goes up 200 pips. Exhaustion candle shows up right on top. Sell it? No, good, good. You're talking like pros now. Let everybody else sell it, not you guys. Let them sell it. They like candlestick patterns, let them sell it, no worries. Market goes down 70%. Then it goes up, unable to make a higher high. Exhaustion candle shows up. Sell it? Now you can. But what do you know about this sell? Is this sell gonna go down to make new lows and show up on the news that, oh my goodness, that exhaustion candle that showed up on the markets today, it broke the market. You know, it took Microsoft all the way down to zero. No, no, no. You know you can sell it, but don't forget, you are in an uptrend. You're in an uptrend, but because the uptrend is dying, there's a chance that he can come in quite deep. Good. That's an in and out kind of trade. Very good. You're getting somewhere now. Let me take this even further. Here we go. Let's remove some. Okay, now the market starts to go down. Bam, pulls back. And from this pullback, exhaustion candle shows up. Pin bar. Can I sell it? Oh yeah. You better be on that sell. Because why? Why should you be on that sell? Remember, the world is looking at buys. They just want to buy. They haven't grasped it's a sell yet. Now the market goes down and pulls back and goes down and pulls back and goes down and pulls back. And then an exhaustion candle shows up. Sell it? Doesn't this look exactly the same as this, but now your answer to how do you deal with it changed? Same pattern, exactly the same pattern in 3 different locations, and all of your answers are different from how you would trade it. Right? I haven't changed anything. I'm using the same pattern for you guys, but you guys are getting smarter on how to use that pattern. Okay? The further price goes, the more people are on that sell. Okay? The earlier it is, more people are buying and buying and buying. If you were dealing in stocks, okay, luckily you guys are all in Forex, so you don't have this concept of, if I want to buy something, someone has to sell to me. If I have to buy something, someone has to sell to me. Does everyone understand what I just said? That one small sentence. Many of you guys, or maybe not any of you guys here, but many traders who are in just Forex never thought of that, because there's so much liquidity, they never have to think about it. Because if they hit buy, they get the buy. If they hit sell, they get the sell. So they never think about there needs to be somebody on the other side. If you want to sell over here, down here, someone needs to hit the buy button so you can sell to them. Correct? But who is hitting the buy down there? Everyone is selling. Remember, the whole public mentality is sell, 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 sell. And if we want to sell also, who are we buying it from? Who are we selling to? So, but up here, if the public hasn't switched to a sell side yet and they're focusing on the buys still, can you not sell to them willing to buy at these high prices up in the sky? Because the market kept going higher and higher and higher. And if you want to sell, hey, anyone will buy from you. You're willing to sell. They're like, oh, they're hungry for profits. They've been seeing it go up for so long. They're like, I can't wait to get a piece of this. And when you hit the sell button, they're like, no problem, I'll buy it from you. So you get a fill. You get your 100 shares that you want to sell. Someone on the other side says, I will take that 100. Thank you very much. But the lower you go on the other side, they're also looking to sell. You're also looking to sell. How do you get a buyer? So that candlestick pattern down there has less odds of working. One pattern, different locations, different approach. Yes? So far, so good. How many of you guys can say you officially understood the logistics of patterns now? Okay. Yeah, good, good. I'm glad. Yeah. So it is not about how much can you study. It is not about how many degrees can you put in your belt. It is about how can you make use of that information. Otherwise, what's the point of learning ridiculously nonstop? You can fill your house and make it look like a library, but yet it doesn't mean you have a scent of knowledge because you don't know how to use it. Does that make sense? Okay. So a person with 500 degrees and you with 0 degrees, but know how to use what you've learned so far is a lot smarter in my eyes than the person with so many degrees, but 0 application skills. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So don't live in that illusion. So shall we look at our trade from today? Okay. I took some trades. I took a trade Aussie USD that you heard earlier. Lucas was on that one as well. And I did one for Euro Yen, and Marco was, eyeing that this morning as well. So we'll go into both of those trades. And I want you to tell me, did I get the first good price, second good price, or a bad price? Okay, you will be the judge of this, and you will tell me very bad, Navin, or very good. You can judge me accordingly based on what you've learned so far. Yeah. Oh, I see some people you're saying first time here. Welcome. And some of you guys, you said you were late. Don't worry about it. It's recorded. I'm sure some of you guys couldn't get in. Again, once again, I really apologize for that. How many of you guys here actually picked up the Mastering Price action during Easter? Okay, anyone here who doesn't have the Mastering Price action? Is anyone in here who doesn't have the Mastering Price action course? Okay, so I do see there are some people here who don't have it. What I'll do is towards the end of this webinar, okay, we'll go on for another 10 minutes. Towards the end of the webinar, I'll extend that Easter promotion so you can pick up the Mastering Price Action 2.0 for that Easter price of $99. Yeah, so you won't have to pay the $149. I'll extend that promotion out for you towards the end of this webinar, and I'll get it for you. But for now, I want you guys to all stay here and focus. Okay, so here we go. Okay. All right. Right now, everyone's typing in the reviews about MPA. So unfortunately, you guys can't see that, but there's a lot of good reviews of people saying, they really absolutely love it and stuff like that. So life-changing, some of you guys are saying. So I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you for your feedbacks on that. Okay. So Aussie USD, let's have a look. Let me go down to the 15 minutes. Let me open up my charts. Now, can you tell me this guy over here, what kind of candlestick pattern is that? What kind of candlestick pattern is that? Inverted hammer. Okay, inverted hammer. So I sold that over there. So I have multiple choices of where I can sell from, but I sold from over there. How come I didn't hold on and ride it as long as I could? Okay, this particular trade, I made 3.9R on this, which is approximately 390%. Okay, so if you were risking $100, you made $390, basically, in a nutshell. Okay, so what are we seeing here? So a lot of the people are saying it's a lower high. Ajay Singh, you're saying too low to keep going. Okay, momentum is still going. Robert, you're saying. Joseph, you're saying because it was far from original start of the trend. Okay. Upside down hammer, Ehab, yes, that's correct. Already in a downtrend, so it could be a reverse. Christopher will. Okay, very good. Now, shall we look at this closely? I need to know, should I pay attention to my patterns on this or not? Can you guys, when you look at this chart, tell me where the sells began? Just by looking at this chart, like if you bring your dog back in and saying, okay, doggy, Navin needs you again. Tell him which direction is the market going. All right, so your dog comes in, your dog's looking at the charts. He's like, okay, down. Okay, so it's been going down since this price here, right? Now my trade is down there. Like I can barely, see it. It's all the way down there. Let's have a look at this in terms of structure. So how I trade these things is I start from my 60 minutes as my larger player and I work my way from there. So I'm looking at the 60 and I'm watching this momentum of what is going on with this. Who are the players into the market? What is the momentum? And you will walk with me into this entire trade, not by pattern, but by reading the market closely. Okay, you ready? We'll do this together. We're gonna go step by step. I'm gonna ask you the question. You guys are gonna answer. Okay, so I'm on the 60-minute now. If I just open this chart, I see the markets were heavily going down from here. Agreed? Lower high, lower low sequence, which means downtrend. So far, so good. What happened to that downtrend? That low that got lower stopped getting lower. So far, so good. Then it turned into an uptrend. Higher high, higher low sequence. Okay. As that higher high, higher low sequence started, people started to begin to buy it much late in the phase. They don't buy it initially. They only buy it once it's a given, right? So it starts going up, but that up suddenly turns into a sideways momentum because we never get a higher high. We keep getting higher lows along the way, but we never get a higher high, which means it can no longer be called an uptrend. It becomes some kind of consolidation. Okay, consolidation basically means the market's not going anywhere. It's getting stuck. Okay. Christopher Will, you're saying ranges are friends. Yeah, there you go. There you go. From the MPA, man. Good job. All right. So now in this process, the sell took over. It came down hard. Bam. Made its first lower low here. First one. Okay. And then it pulls back here. Would you say that is the first lower high? The brand new sell. While the world is still looking at a possible buy, there's a brand new sell coming. So I know all of you guys are thinking, Navin, why didn't you sell that? What is wrong with you? I know, I was sleeping. I'm sorry. It's like I wasn't there. I want that trade too. Trust me, I want that trade. As much as you are like, dude, sell that. I want it badly. I was sleeping. Okay, so I come into the office. I see that as a lower low. So I'm aware I'm late. Okay, I'm aware I am late to the party. But remember that momentum I was talking about. No, it doesn't mean do not sleep anymore, guys. It means it's okay. You can get on to the next trade. It's fine. All right, so the markets move down. So let me delete all these things again. And I'm going to focus just from the arrow. Yeah? Okay, let's get rid of all this. Okay, here we go. So here we are now of the market move down. First time lower low, first time lower high. It's just starting. Bam, this trade missed by Navin. Sleeping. Okay, can you tell me something about this momentum? How did it move down? And then when it pulled back and he came down again, how did it move down? Would you say he's slowing down or has he still got power? Oh yeah, he's got some balls, right? Sorry, I shouldn't say balls in case there's kids here. He's got some kahunas, right? There we go. Is it moving, right? So it's like, yeah. Now, give me a pullback and I'm gonna sell it. So he pulls back to an SNR area and he's holding there. Now, all of you guys are like, Navin, sell that, you monkey. Sell that. Why aren't you selling that? I know. I wasn't there, unfortunately, on that part too. I just wasn't there. Okay. So I missed that sell as well. Yes, I was making coffee. I come into the office, and then I see Marco talking about it, saying, Lucas talking about it, saying, I'm really interested in getting into the Aussie USD sells. And he hits it, he hits it around those areas, and he takes the sell. Okay, now I'm at a dilemma. The markets are moving. I know the markets are strong. I missed two main entries. Okay, I missed two main entries. I'm sulking. I'm sulking like this is ridiculous. How can I miss this? Damn you, sleep and coffee. Okay, all right, now fast forward till the moment where I'm watching this carefully, because I want to understand what can I do if I should do anything. Okay, if I should do anything. Okay, so all jokes aside, so far so good. Everyone with me? Okay, let's take this a little bit deeper now. Now, there's a lot of money to be made, obviously, right? Unfortunately, not in any of that, but let's take it to where now it gets very interesting. Okay, let's get rid of all these drawings. We'll get you right up and close to a clean chart. Okay, here we go. Now the markets are starting to move, and I don't have that price. Okay, let me go into the 15 minutes now. Okay, the 15 minutes, I see when the markets were going up and up and up, obviously when it hit the support and resistance, and I started seeing these kind of candlestick patterns, it gets me interested. It gets me interested. It's like, prepare for selling, you monkey. But I didn't sell it. Okay, I didn't sell it. The market shoots away. How does it shoot away? Do you guys remember this design? It was an uptrend. What just happened to that uptrend? A first time lower low, and then that lower high. I took that. I took that sell. But remember when we were on the 60-minute, how low in that sequence am I selling? Am I selling brand new that the whole world is buying and I am selling it? No, I sold late. I sold late, which means I can't hold on. It's risky. There you go. It's risky. So when I sold that, I know I am not selling it for long term. I'm selling it for a quick in and out. That in and out pays well too. If you're entering nicely, it pays well. It gives you nice money too. So my return on this is 3.9 R, which is, like I said, 390%. So far so good? Makes sense? So you see how that candlestick pattern is there? That candlestick pattern alone just tells me to sell, but I don't know what to do with that sell. Do I even enter it? Do I hold on? Do I get out soon? I have no clue what to do with that pattern if I don't read the market carefully. But all I've done is taught you how to basically read the market in a matter of 50 minutes. And it's changing your perspective. It's changing your perspective on how you're looking at a simple candlestick pattern, right? So now, can you come to a conclusion of how professional traders use candlestick patterns to trade? Are they using a candlestick pattern itself to trade? No. It is where the candlestick pattern shows up that makes the difference. Okay. Is that making sense? How many of you guys would say you had an aha moment today? Yeah? Okay. Well, there's quite a few. Good. I'm glad. I don't want you guys ever to leave any of my webinars without learning something. Okay? If you guys leave my webinars without learning something, you email me, I am in trouble. Okay? Good. I'm glad. So would you say this was difficult, what you've learned today? Is it difficult? No. But the thing is that because it's so simple, it's so easy, many people just ignore it thinking, it's the basics. I don't want to learn the basics. It's just for kids. No, you have to get the foundation right. You have to get the foundation right. It's not hard. It's actually quite easy, but you know which direction to focus. Someone needs to point you in the right direction. Yeah? All right. So all of you guys who were saying you guys do not have the Mastering Price Action course, as we're getting ready to wrap up, I wanted to bring this out. Let me actually turn off my screen sharing and bring you guys back to humanity. Where are we? Okay, you guys can see me just fine? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, so basically all of you guys who said you guys do not have the Mastering Price Action course, you guys can pick it up for the Easter promotion. I will extend it out for another couple of, another 24 hours for you guys. You know, we're way past Easter. It's not nice to celebrate Easter when you're past Easter like this. But, you know, because it's a special webinar, I want you guys to really make use of growing and learning and being the best you can be, because as you've seen in this webinar, it is not so difficult. It's just you need to be pointed in the right direction and with the right thought process. So this is a 8-week-long program. Of course, once the 8 weeks are over, you can still keep all the material. I won't take it away from you. It is yours to keep forever. It's an 8-week-long program. Week after week, I will walk you through on how to read the markets with various things, such as even the thing we talked about, the momentum stuff, that's in there as well, where I talk you through on how to read that momentum professionally, but in an easy way, so you don't get lost in it, you know, and confused. So all of this is available. Armo, you know, one of the panelists, I think Armo will put it in the chat room for you guys on how to pick it up. You are able to pick it up. You can go to www.urbanforex.com/Easter. Okay, I know it's very difficult to remember, but it's urbanforex.com/Easter. Okay. Otherwise, Armo's put it in the chat for you. You can copy and paste it onto your browser, and you will be able to pick up the Mastering Price Action course for a discounted price of $99. Now, those of you who are watching the recording, this is a one-time thing only. Chances are, if you're watching this recording, you're not going to get that deal. So, you know, I apologize for that in advance. So, all right. So before we end this, yes, agreed. Did we all have a successful breakthrough in the knowledge today? Aha moments? Are you walking away smarter and better than before when you walked in? Yes. Sometimes the best answer is just showing up. Okay? Surrounding yourself with people who know what they're doing. You just got to show up and you will learn. You will learn. You will be better. Okay? You just got to show up. So thank you all for coming here today. I know, you know, for many places, there's still a lockdown going on and there's curfews and stuff like that. Stay safe. Take care of your families. We're always here for you. If you ever need us, you can email us at info@urbanforex.com. Thanks, guys. Until next time. See you then. Cheers. Bye for now.